This is Hands-on Equations, Lesson 18. In this lesson, you will learn legal moves with different colored cubes. In Lesson 17, you learned that the green cubes represent negative integers, and the red cubes represent positive integers. And you have a zero pair with cubes. When you pair a green cube and a red cube with the same integer, they're worth 0. Using that knowledge, you will find that you have two options when you are using legal moves with different colored cubes. You can either add the missing half of a zero pair, or you can add a zero pair on opposite sides of the balance. I'll show you both of these options. So let's say I have x plus 3 is equal to -5. Again, just like in any of the other levels, I want to isolate my variable or my pawn, and I want to isolate or have on its own side my constants or the cubes. So I really want to target this red 3 because I want to get the pawn by itself. So one option you have is to add the missing half of a zero pair. So if I wanted to create a zero pair with this red 3, it's missing a green 3. So I add in the missing half, but if I add it in onto one side, I have to add it onto the other side. Now I've created this zero pair, so I can drop that zero pair down. And now I see that I have two green cubes, and I always want cubes of the same color. So a 5 and -5 and a -3 is -8. So this pawn is worth -8. Now I go back to my original to do my check. So -8 plus a +3 is -5. And on the right side, I have -5. So my check is -5 equals -5. Let's try another one. I have 2x, so 2 blue pawns, plus a -5 is equal to -7. Again, I want to get the pawns by itself. So I'm going to add the missing half of the zero pair. So if I have this green 5, what's missing is a red 5. So I add it in on the left side, but if I add it in on the left side, I need to add it in on the right side. Now this zero pair drops down because it's worth 0. Now I have a little bit of work to do on the right side because I have cubes of two different colors. You learned in lesson 17 when you have cubes of different colors that you are adding, you need to do a little bit of a swap with the cube with the largest digit. So I'm going to rewrite this green 7 to be a -5 and a -2. Now I specifically chose the 5 and 2 because I can pull over the -5 to the red 5, creating a zero pair. And then I can drop that zero pair down. And I'm left with a -2. So 2 pawns equal to -2 means each of those pawns have to be equal to -1. Now I'm going to go back to my original equation to do my check. -1 plus -1 plus -5 is -7. My left side's worth -7, and I see that my right side is also worth -7. Then I know that I've done my correct work. -7 equals -7. Let's look at this one and use our other option. So we know that we could add in the missing half of a zero pair, or another option is we could add a zero pair to the opposite side. So I'm going to build first. I have 2x plus a +4 equals a +2. I want to get rid of this +4. Now I don't have a +4 on the right side. I only have a +2. What I can do is I can add a zero pair onto the opposite side of that +4. So I'm going to create a zero pair of 4s. And I chose 4s because I want to get rid of this 4. So I add an opposite pair of integers to whatever cube this is. Now I have red 4s on each side, and we learned in level 1 if we have cubes of the same color on this and the same integers, we can remove them. So now I have this +2 and -4. Now, because these are two different colors, I know that I have to swap out the cube of the larger digit, and I'm going to swap it out for two green cubes because -2 plus -2 is still worth -4, so I haven't changed the value. But now I've created a zero pair that I can drop down. And again, I have a -2. So I still have 2 blue pawns is equal to -2. So this one is also worth -1. Now I'm going to build back my original to do my check. -1 plus -1 is -2. -2 plus a +4 is +2. And on the right side, I have +2 as well. So 2 equals 2. So in today's lesson, you learned that you have a couple of options or legal moves when it comes to working with different colored cubes. You can either add in the missing half of the zero pair, or you can add a zero pair on the opposite side of the balance.